Peace and blessings, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Albert, and today I have this Citroen DS5. And for a long time I wanted to drive one of these because when this car came out in 2011, I had the impression that Sarah Connors sent this machine to warn us that, well, the machines are gonna become alive. And this is part true, because actually this car has an electric motor and also has a diesel engine, and well, it has a lot of technology on it. And the fact that it's actually from 2011, it's pretty mind-blowing. This car actually is a 2013 model year, but they didn't change that much, because honestly, just look at it. What could have they done better? On the outside, the Citroen, it's beautiful.
You don't even know my name, but I am happy you came by. No lessons learned, of course you're gonna leave as soon as you came across who I am not. This party sucks, I'm out of luck, and no one seems to get me here. They talk about some other stuff that I don't even wanna hear. The crazy part is that I didn't feel this way before I got here. I wanna be somebody, yeah. Hanging with somebody, yeah. Can I be somebody, dancing with somebody? I wanna be somebody, yeah. Goodbye. The truth is I didn't even find your company that good. My lessons learned, maybe I don't.
The car that I have here today was offered by my friends at CarZ. CarZ are a specialized second-hand car dealership located in Ipswich. All their cars have 6 months RAC warranty, which is extendable up to 3 years. Also, all of them have fresh MOT. If you have a bad credit score, CarZ can help you with that as well. Oh, one more thing. If you want your car delivered all the way across UK, they can help you with that as well. So check them out at carz.co.uk. The front end of the Citroen DS5. Well, just by looking at it, you can actually see that this car was properly designed by, I don't know, by someone who actually came from the future. Because this, back in 2011, didn't look like anything else. So we have this big front end here, which, well, it doesn't have a big grille, but it's interesting how Citroen developed their logo into the front grille. Also, we have these LED headlights. By the way, they still have xenon lights, which I know that today we are having lasers and things like that, but back then this was a big deal. So we have LED daytime running lights with xenon headlights. Here we have the fog lights, which they look pretty standard, nothing really pops out. We have parking sensors over here, and here we have the turn signals, which they look pretty cool. Now, one thing that I like about this car is the fact that it has a chrome line which starts here and goes all the way to the mirrors. And this gives a very sporty and a very luxurious style at the same time. And it's something that I like about this Citroen.
The front end of the Citroen DS5 is striking and unique. The large grille surrounded by sharp angles and lines gives the car a modern and sporty feel. The LED headlights are sleek and blend seamlessly into the overall design. The hood is elongated and adds to the car's aerodynamic profile. The Citroen emblem is prominently displayed in the center of the grille, adding to the car's brand recognition. Overall, the front end of the Citroen DS5 is an impressive display of modern design and engineering. While some may find the sharp lines and angles to be a bit overwhelming, it is undeniable that this car is a design that turns heads and make a statement on the road.
Another thing that I like about this front end are these side vents here, and they are not fake side vents. They're actually integrated here to give the brakes more air in case you need more air to brake. The funny thing is that this is not a very powerful car, but the fact that they think of this, it's a little bit mind-blowing. So I previously mentioned, you can see this beautiful chrome line that actually starts from the headlights and finishes here. But it also goes down here, and also you have chrome on the door handles. This is not a big deal now, but in 2011 this was something that all the luxurious high-end vehicles had, and it's something that makes this car very unique. But it's not just that, just the whole shape of the car is quite enduring. You have these big 18-inch wheels, which they have their own design, and it's pretty cool that Citroen actually didn't copy anyone. One interesting thing about the rear end of the Citroen is this roof spoiler. Now, you might think that this has a normal roof, but it doesn't. This car has a panoramic roof, and from here to here, this is glass. So from the inside of the car, you can actually see that you have two glasses right here. One is this one, which gives you more light into the trunk, and this one is for you to see when you reverse the car. Now, luckily enough, you don't see anything through this, but Citroen actually mounted a camera right here that actually shows you what is behind you when you want to back up or you want to park this car, which is interesting because this design actually looks pretty cool, but it's giving you a lot of visibility problems. Anyway, in the rear end, we have these LED taillights, which they look cool. They have this 3D shape over here, and the way that they were designed honestly blows my mind away. I don't even want to think that this car was actually created in 2011. I'm shocked by the amount of technology and by the amount of design quirkiness that this car had in 2011. So we are in 2023, and the reason why you should buy one of these is the fact that it's a pretty cool car. It drives well, it feels well on the road, it's very comfortable, and honestly, it's better than all its rivals. It's unique, it stands out, and yeah, I know, well, French people don't really know how to make cars, but actually this one is a better and a proper French car. Also, in the rear end, we have these twin exhausts, which they look mean and they look aggressive. Even though this car has a 2-liter diesel engine, it's not noisy and it doesn't go very fast. But the fact that they thought to put the exhaust like this, twin exhaust, and honestly, for the symmetry of the car, it looks quite well. We have the parking sensors right here, hidden in this black plastic thingy, which honestly, it goes well with the design of the car because you have the black windows and you do have some black elements on the car as well. And the rear camera right over here. Opening the boot or the trunk of the Citroen. No buttons. So where are the buttons? Well, you have to check online to see exactly where the buttons are because, well, the French did it again, but actually they thought of this because if they would have placed the button here, it would have looked awkward. But they placed it right here. So you press this button, you press this button and the trunk pops out. Now, there's a problem. The trunk is not electrically powered. So you don't really have where to put your hands on. But finally, you open the trunk, yeah, and you have a very, very big cargo space. So this car has 468 liters of cargo. But that's not all. You can drop the back seats and you can get 1,300 liters, which is quite impressive. So if you want to carry almost any, I think you can actually carry a fridge in this car. I will have to try this sometimes, but I think you can actually fit a fridge in here. The only thing that it's a little bit of a drawback is the fact that you can actually see by its design, you cannot fit larger objects due to the fact that the boot is quite narrow on the upper side. But other than that, I really cannot find any defects on this car. And one thing I want to show you, come a little bit closer. Previously, I mentioned about the rear windscreen. So you can actually see that you have two rear windscreens, but they are separated by this plastic here, and on the outside we have this roof spoiler, which is quite interesting. Inside the Citroen DS5, I have to tell you that when I actually jumped into this car for the first time, I was blown away by its design. it literally feels like you are in an airplane, and this is the cockpit of an airplane. It doesn't resemble with a car at all. So you have these buttons over here that control the windows. The design of the dashboard is beautiful, it's unique. You have an analog clock here which looks very good. This car has start-stop, it has keyless entry. You have full leather seats, they are also fully electrically adjustable, and they are heated. By the way, this car has an infotainment system. It's really dated, but still you do have this screen here where you can adjust everything in the car. But the most beautiful thing that actually this car has is this panoramic roof. And well, I have to tell you that everything is adjustable from right here, from these buttons right here. So the buttons up here, all of them have their own functions. So you can individual close the sunroof, which is above your head. Now this sunroof is splitted due to the fact that you have this central console here. You have two individual sunroof adjusters, so they're quite interesting. You press the button here, and I don't know if you actually can see that, but they actually do close individual, and it's quite an interesting thing regarding this. Now this car has a head-up display, and the funniest thing is that where they place the controls for the head-up display, well, you guessed it, they are up here as well. The gear shifter is very interesting as well. It's very well built, and the quality of the materials of this car are very high. Now when you want to put this car in gear, this is an interesting thing, because you have like a roadmap what to do. It's not going up or down like the German cars. No, here you have to do a dance with your gear shifter. So, well, again, French cars. Another thing that it's annoying about this car is the fact that they placed the button to open the bonnet, or the hood as I like to say it, right over there in the passenger side. And I don't understand why, but well, again, the car was designed by the French. Another thing that I don't like about the car is the fact that the cup holders are placed into the doors. So you don't have any cup holders in this area. You have a very large, and when I say large, you have a very large armrest space that you can actually fill with a lot of things here, but no cup holders. So the cup holders, you have only two, which they are placed in the door, and they're quite small as well. The gauge cluster actually looks like an airplane cluster. It's quite brilliant how they thought of this. So you start the car, yeah, and you only have one screen here that actually tells you that you have some miles to do. It tells you what kind of fuel consumption the car has, and all things like this. Infotainment system, just the radio and Bluetooth or things like that. This car has 48,000 miles, and I have to tell you that it looks brand new. I like the air vents over here. I like this analog clock, the start-stop button, and everything in this car seems better than its German rivals. Now I do have to tell you that the engine is not as close as the BMW or the Audi or the Mercedes, but the interior design of the car is quite sleek and quite unique. I like the fact that we have this leather here. I don't know why they didn't wrap the whole dash in leather, but somehow this is a little bit more interesting. We have the head-up display right here, and as I mentioned, you can control the head-up display from here, so that is something really unique. So yeah, the steering wheel of the car looks quite good. It's big, it's massive, and somehow they managed to put a flat bottom here to give it more of a sporty feeling. There's another thing that I like about this car are these side windows over here, and they do give the sensation that you have a lot of space in this car, and the fact is that you do have a lot of space in this car. So this amplifies the whole space of the car, and it's giving that airplane feeling that I told you, it's crazy. You have to drive one of these, you have to test drive one of these to see exactly what I'm talking about. The seats are excellent, are very comfortable. I like the headrests. They have these unique design, and I like the white stitching on the seats as well. Not too much to complain about it. Jumping into the back seat of the Citroen DS5. Now I have to mention that you do have two buttons to control the windows. I didn't spot them because you usually are looking for them on the door sides, but no, they are placed right here in this central armrest. But the problem with these ones are that the quality of the materials, they are very, very poor compared with the materials that they actually put into the front buttons. Into the back seats, you can actually see that we have this panoramic roof as well. Nothing really pops out. We do have these map lights and, well, the central armrest, which again, it has the smallest cup holders I've actually seen in my entire life. They're not just small, but the fact that they are so low and they don't have any height in them, I don't know if you can actually place a drink here. Other than that, the amount of space is decent. I do have the seats all the way back, so you can actually see that you can actually fit 3 passengers very well here. So in the back seat of the Citroen, even the dashboard and this central console, the roof central console, look brilliant. So this is a nice place to be. And this is a comfortable car, so the back seats are very comfortable as well. Lovely. So, driving the Citroen DS5. Well, this is interesting. I have to tell you, this is something that I've been looking forward for a long time, because this is actually quite a beautiful car. And yeah, I'm gonna say this, it's better than its German competitors as its design, but as reliability and well, engines and things like that, well, no, still prefer the Germans. But I do like this car. It's something that it put a smile on my face today, so it was quite interesting. The amount of technology that was put into this car is amazing, is mind-blowing, and I do love how this interior was actually designed and created. So they didn't thought of anything else, they didn't thought about other cars, they just went and created a cool interior. And I think this is something all the car manufacturers should do. They should create cool interiors. They should not grab something from one another and, well, just redesign a dashboard a little bit, put the screen or things like that. The feeling that I actually had driving this car, I have to tell you that it's quite unique. So I drove a lot of cars. I never was a fan of the Citroen or the French manufacturers, but I have to tell you that after driving this car, my mind has changed differently. My mind has changed. Definitely, I am a person who actually likes, and I can be even more daring and say that I do love this Citroen DS5. It's something that you don't see every day, like you see a 3 Series or like you see a Mercedes or like you see a Audi, but this is something that it makes me smile. I don't know what to tell you. Maybe I am weird, maybe I am quirky, or the hell with that. Maybe I do like odd cars, but this one has to be the most quirkiest car I've driven so far. Even though it's not fast, it's not sporty, but I don't think they aimed to be fast and sporty. I think they aimed to create a car that was just comfortable, and you can actually drive this car on a long distances, which is fair enough, because if you buy a Citroen DS, I don't think you're gonna buy it to drive around town, because this is a big car to drive around town. So probably the best thing that you could buy this car for is to have it for long journeys. And you have the head-up display, you have the professional sound system, you have this gearbox which changes gears smoothly, you have the electric motor, and even the diesel engine is not noisy at all. To be honest with you, you don't even feel that this is a diesel. Regarding practicality, this is a practical car. Having 1,300 liters of cargo space with your rear passenger seats folded down, that's impressive. And the design of the car, let's be serious, this is something that makes you smile all day long. I mean, I always loved these Citroens. To be completely honest, I liked the way the Citroen C4 looked when it came out. But this one was completely mind-blowing. And even today, imagine that this car, unfortunately, they stopped producing it in 2018, so there is no more Citroen DS5. I'm sad to say that they stopped producing this car, because I've honestly would have wanted to see what they can design better than this. And don't get me wrong, still love the German manufacturers, but oh my god, this Citroen is mind-blowing. I don't even know how to express myself anymore with this car. It totally blew my mind away. The visibility, the amount of comfort that you have in the interior, the sensation that you are driving, actually you're not driving, you are piloting a plane. This is actually something that no car gave me before. So probably if this car would have had like a 4-liter V8 engine on it and would have been a little bit lowered, I think this would have been a very strong competitor for the M3 and for the RS4 and the C AMG. Because I told you the amount of comfort is better than the cars that competed with this one when it was new, and the amount of luxury, it's exactly the same. If there is a drawback, there's a drawback regarding the cup holders and regarding this plasticky area over here, which isn't bad. It's soft and it's nice to touch, but if they wrapped the gauge cluster in leather, they actually could have wrapped the whole dash in this area as well, but probably the costs would have been higher. Now, you can actually get this car for around 10,000 pounds, which is a bargain considering that they don't make these cars anymore, and one day these are gonna be some future classics. Because let's be serious, if you would have seen this car in 2011, you would be like, okay, what is this? Is this a real car, or it's just a concept that Citroen actually designed? But yeah. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, press a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. A lot of cool cars are coming into the next episodes, and well, I'm looking forward to share every experience with you guys. So till the next time, all the best to you. I hope to see you soon. Well, I do have a... Oh. So till the next time, all the best to you, and well, see you soon.